Hi, I'm Andy from Camper Rent, and this is the Autoroller 747. I'm going to take you around the vehicle so when you're out on your holiday, you're comfortable and know how to use absolutely everything. All of our vehicles are fully sanitised and cleaned before every single hire, and all of the equipment inside is fully restocked and replenished. All of our vehicles come with two main keys. Your main ignition key, which does your two front doors, also your ignition, and it also opens many of the diesel caps. You also get your second key, that does your habitation door and all of your outside lockers. Some of our keys may have a third key. If you have a key like this is the key for your diesel cap. All of our vehicles run on diesel. You'll get a full tank of diesel when you leave us for your hire, and all we ask is on your return, you return it full as well. The diesel filling point is located on the side of the vehicle here. Your main ignition key will be the key that opens that diesel filler cap. Turn and the cap will release slowly. The key will remain in the cap while you're filling. That's so you don't drive off without the cap being put back on. Put the cap back in, turn the key and close the flap. We then come to our LPG system. Every single one of our vehicles here has the gas flow system fitted to it. What that means is that you can run your heating, your hot water, your fridge, your freezer and your hobs and your oven and your grill all from the gas. To open your gas locker, simply insert your habitation key, turn the handle and the locker will open. In here you will find your gas canister, which we check regularly to ensure they are safe. This gauge shows how full the canister is. The gas should always be off whilst you are driving until you are fully parked up. When you're ready to use the gas, turn it on all the way round until it stops. To turn it off, simply turn it back the other way again until it stops. You've also got adapters, so if you're travelling in Europe and you need to fill your gas up, there's adapters here. Now the gas canister remains in the vehicle at all times. You don't need to take any gas canisters out anymore. The gas itself is very economical, so it won't cost you very much to fill up. It's about £15 to fill a whole can up, and if you're out for about 2 weeks, I'd envisage that you'll probably use about £7 or £8 worth of gas, so it's very, very economical. Close the hatch up, turn the handle, and lock it with your habitation key. Now to fill the gas up, there is a filling point down here. Turn the nozzle and that will release the cap. Most Shell garages in the UK will have an LPG filling point. If you're in Europe, most service stations will have an LPG filling point. If you're struggling while you're out, there is a Shell garage around the corner from us and they have really, really well stocked levels, so you can fill in there before you return. When you do fill the LPG system up, all you do, get the pump, lock it onto the vehicle here. There's normally a handle. Pull the handle over and lock it in place. Go back over to your pump, hold the button down, that will zero the numbers. Then they will start to scroll slowly. When it starts scrolling really slowly, that shows that your LPG tank is now full. Release the button, come back over to the pump, unlock the handle. When you remove it, it will make a noise like psh. It's completely normal, it's completely safe. It's just the pressure being released from where the gas has been pumped in. When the pump's back on its holder, refit the cap and you're ready to go. As we make our way down the outside of the vehicle, the first thing we come to is your electric hookup point. Open the flap here and you can fit your electric cable nicely into this area here, and the other end clips into the electric point on your campsite. As we move to the rear of the vehicle, come to the first entrance of your garage area. Again, using your habitation key, turn the key in the locks and the handles will pop out. Once they've popped out, simply turn the handles. They will unsuction from the side of the vehicle and you will be able to hook the garage area up using the handy stay there. Once the garage doors open, you'll be able to obviously put any equipment in that you want to. There's also another garage entrance to the other side of the vehicle. In here, you will find your ladder for your drop-down bed, your 25-metre hookup cable, your warning triangle if the worst was to happen and you were to break down. We have the health and safety box, so you've got 2 high visibility vests in here, some beam benders for travelling in Europe, 2 breathalyzers which are essential for travelling in Europe. You've got a first aid kit and some fuses in there. We also supply you with a bucket, a dustpan and brush. You've got an airer. Now this clothes area becomes very useful if you've been to the beach all day, if you've been swimming, you've got some wet clothes. Use this, hang the clothes up. The good area is the garage area to hang them up. They'll dry nice and quickly. You've got your toilet chemicals in here, your fresh water hose for filling up your fresh water, and your silver screen, which goes around your front windscreen and your driver's and passenger side window at night time. So once the garage is closed back down, simply turn the handles in place, push them in, and lock them so the handles stay nicely in place. Same for both sides, and the garage is safe and secure. So we're now at the rear of the vehicle. Every single one of our vehicles is fitted with a reversing camera. You've got your second entry point to the garage. Again, there's a stay here, so when you open the garage, that's the best place to obviously load your equipment and luggage, so it's out of the way for the other equipment that's already in the vehicle. Moving further along the vehicle, we have your toilet cassette area. Further along the vehicle, we've got your fresh water filling point. You've got your carbon monoxide emission zone. So this vent will emit any carbon monoxide inside the vehicle out of the vehicle. So if you've got your heating on and you're running with the gas, this will blow out warm air. What it's doing is it's removing all the carbon monoxide from inside the vehicle and taking it out, so making sure that everyone is safe. Using your central locking, you will see that there is plenty of room to get in and out of the vehicle. This is a bumper. This is not a step, this is part of the bumper of the vehicle. If you are a party with young children on, please make sure they don't stand on this. It does have a tendency to break. So here we are in the main cab area of the Autoroller 747. All the 747s in our range are all manual gearbox. Get your ignition key, simply insert it into the ignition. Always make sure you've got your foot on your brake, and the engine will start quite nicely. Once the engine's started, before you pull away, your handbrake is down to the driver's right hand side, so it's not in the traditional left part where it is in most of our vehicles in the UK. Down on the right hand side, get it into gear, clutch down into first, feel a bit of the bite, release the handbrake slowly, and the vehicle will glide away for you. The reverse on this vehicle is up and to the left hand side, and that will bring the reverse camera on here again, so you can look directly down the back of the vehicle, get nice and close to your pitches. That looks directly down the back of the vehicle. It doesn't open pan, so always have someone watching your back while you're doing reversing. You've got hazards here, so if you are unfortunate enough to have a breakdown, make sure you use your hazards, or if you're stuck in traffic and you've got fast traffic approaching, make sure that you use your hazards again. Cab in the front here has got air conditioning. If you've got people sitting in the back, if you put it on quite high, it will reach the people in the back, but the aircon is just for the cab area alone. You've got a USB point here for plugging in things like phones. If you want to bring your own satellite navigation, that's absolutely fine. The radio here has got radio Bluetooth, so when you're driving, please make sure you're connecting your phone. Very, very keen that everyone is safe when you're driving the vehicles. If you're on your phone, make sure it's connected to the Bluetooth. Some of the vehicles that we have in our range will have sat-nav in them. If you've selected that, the sat-nav will be in here. It's a TomTom sat-nav, it's touchscreen. The sat-nav is very good, but please, if it looks like it's a field that you shouldn't drive through or a lane that's too tight, just avoid that. Just take some common sense guidelines with it and just avoid them. We also supply the Camper Rent Handbook. So there's also lots of helpful hints and tips inside here about how to use all the equipment. So always refer back to that as well as the video. Okay, so we're now at the habitation door of the Autoroller 747. Take your habitation key, insert it into the lock and turn it to the left. To open these doors, simply place your thumb under the key lock and gently squeeze the handle and the door will open nicely. What you'll find is, if you try and yank the door handle, the door won't open. Always place your thumb there and gently squeeze it and the door will open quite easily for you. Now when it comes to night time and you want to lock the vehicle up, simply all you have to do is flick the switch up onto red. That will lock the door from the inside and no one will be able to get in from the outside. When morning comes and it's time to exit the vehicle, always make sure that you put the switch down onto green and then press the latch to exit the vehicle. The vehicle will open on red for emergency use only, but please remember to try and open it on the green. Opening it on the red continuously can damage the mechanism inside, and that's what this little notice here is all about. When you are out in our vehicle, we tend to find that we get lots of interest, so please feel free to pass anyone a flyer. They can go off and do their own research and you can get on and enjoy the rest of your holiday. We also supply everyone with a Best of British magazine. So if you're travelling around and you're stuck for places to stay, have a look in here. There's some fantastic campsites in here. Okay, so here we are inside the Autoroller 747. Up above your habitation door, we've got your main control panel. This one here is for your water pump. So if you want to run any taps, flush the toilet, have a shower, you must put this button on here. When you turn that button on, you will hear a slight rumble, but that will calm down once the water starts coming through. This is an outside light, and that outside light is above your habitation door here. This is all your internal lights. You've got various light switches throughout the vehicle. You've also got blue LED running lights. But if you want to watch your television in your vehicle, you also need to have that light on because the television is wired through the same circuit as your lights. This one here is a temperature. It tells you what the temperature is inside the vehicle. It doesn't control any of your heating. It's just a temperature guide. This one up here is your next important one. This is your water. This is your leisure battery. That will show you how much your leisure battery is charged. All of our vehicles have solar panels on the roof. That charges the leisure battery, and the leisure battery also charges from the engine battery when you're driving. The only way your vehicle will run out of charge is if you parked it in a cave, and even then it will last anywhere between 2 and 3 days. Next one down is your engine battery. They've just added this in just so that you can tell that the engine battery is getting charged. Situated around the corner here, you've got your main heating and hot water control panel. It's not just a handy clock, it also powers your heating and your hot water. This big dial in the middle, if you click the button, that brings on your main menu. So your first option here, this is for your heating. The one that's flashing, that's your heating, click onto that. Scroll to the temperature you want to set it at, for example 18 degrees, click it. All you need to do then is scroll across to where your gas and the electric symbols are, click into there. If you're running everything off gas, just select gas, click it for gas. If you're running on electric on hookup, it's EL2. They're the only options you need, gas or EL2. Select EL2, click it, and then you'll be able to run your heating through your electric. We're going to select gas for now. Once you've selected your option, go to your fan, and you've got eco and high. If we put it on high, if it's rather chilly, the hot air will be pushed through the vehicle, through the vents, and it will warm up here nice and quickly. Put it on eco, you just want to take the chill out. It will steadily put warmth through the vehicle. To get back to the main menu, press the back button, and that will take you back to the clock. We're going to click back into here. We're going to move across to the next section, which is your hot water. So when it's flashing, click into it. You've got 3 options. You've got eco, hot, and boost. If it's first thing in the morning, you want a nice hot shower, select boost, click it. Again, scroll across to your gas and your electric panel. Click the button again. If you're on gas, select gas, click gas. If you're running on electric on hookup, select EL2. We're going to select gas again. Now that's selected, your hot water, it will flash up here. When that goes solid, that will show that your hot water is ready to go. If you put it on boost, it will normally take around 9 to 11 minutes and you'll have a nice hot shower. Also, at the top here, next to the main RCD panel, is a Find It sticker. Now the Find It sticker lets you know exactly where to locate your frost protection switch. So here we have the frost protection switch. When your frost protection switch has gone, that means your pipes and your tanks have emptied the water to stop them from freezing. What you need to do is find the blue button on the other side of this black box. It's a tiny circular blue button. Push that blue button in and that will reseal your tanks. If this blue diamond looking shaped button on here has spun round the other way, so it's facing up and down rather than left and right, just turn that again so it's this way round. Again, press the blue button, it will reseal your tanks and you'll be able to fill your water back up so you've got fresh water coming back through your taps. Okay, so in this cupboard underneath your oven and grill, you'll find your gas isolation switches and your RCD unit trip switch. When you collect the vehicle from us, your gas isolation switches will look like this. When you get to campsite and you want to use your fridge on gas instead of electric, all you need to do is turn that handle there and that will produce gas into the fridge. When you select gas on the fridge, you can then run it using the LPG system. The RCD unit trip switches below here. If you're on your campsite and the campsite has a power cut for some reason, just go to the RCD unit trip switch and you'll see the switch which is moved across. All you got to do is flick that back in place and you'll then have power back into your motorhome. This is your water. So if you press it once, that's for your fresh water. Now when you leave us today, you will either have between 75 and 100% fresh water inside your vehicle. If you press it a second time, that's your grey water. So that shows that your grey water tank is currently empty. Now when you leave with us, it will either show 0 as it does now, or 33% if we are on a slight slope. This indicates when you also need to empty your grey water. So when this is up to 100%, that's when you need to empty your grey water. When you need to empty it, simply pull that lever. There's a drain pipe under there. It will empty all of your grey water. Now your grey water is not dirty water, it's washing water, washing up water, shower water, things like that. Most campsites will have a designated area for you to do that. It may even be on your pitch, or you can empty it in a drain or even a cattle grid. Once it's emptied, simply push the lever back in. It is quite stiff. That will now seal your grey water tank, so you're ready to go again. So in here, we have a blue cap. It will either be attached to this blue cord or it'll be loose like on this one. Get your stretchy green hose from inside your bucket in the garage. The green garden hose end, that fits nicely into this hole. As soon as water starts pouring down here, you know that your water tank is full. Take the hose out, simply put the cap back in, screw it in, and put the flap back down. You've now got 100 litres of fresh water on board. Moving further back down the vehicle, we have your main kitchen area. We have your hobs for cooking. We have two main cupboards above the kitchen area. They're squeezy handles, so you squeeze them and they will lift up nicely. In here you've got your plates, your bowls, your mugs, wine glasses, decanters. Slowly close the cupboards, they will go quite fast and they'll click into place so that when you're driving they don't open up. In terms of igniting your hob, all you need to do, get the handy igniter that we supply with you, choose the hob that you want to ignite, make sure the gas is coming through, and that hob will ignite nice and easy for you. Hold it in for a few seconds, make sure it's all loaded, ignite nice and easy for you. Hold it in for a few seconds, make sure it's all loaded. When you're finished, turn the hob off. Give it a few minutes before you put the glass back down. If you put it back down too quickly and you've had the hob on for a long time, it can crack the hob glass. When you are doing your cooking on your hobs, always make sure that you have this window open. That's just to vent out any carbon monoxide that may be produced from the cooking. To do that, simply press these small buttons on these handles, turn the handles, there's 3 of them here, and push the window open. That will emit any carbon monoxide. When you finish cooking, simply close the window up and the window's all fully closed for you. Further down here, you've got your oven and your grill. Got a grill selector and an oven selector, and it has its own igniter. Under the oven and grill, this is where you'll find your gas isolation switches and your RCD unit trip switch, and it's also where you'll find your traditional whistling kettle. In the drawers just behind the oven, you will have your cutlery, your bottle openers and your knife set. And you'll also have your pots and pans and your cooking utensils. Just back from the oven, further forward, is your main fridge and freezer. It's a really good sized fridge, and you've got a top freezer compartment in there as well. To power your fridge on, simply press the power button. That will bring your fridge on, and it will glow up nice and blue when it's on the correct setting that you've chosen. You've got 3 main settings for your fridge. First one here is your hookup. So if you're on electric hookup cable on a campsite, that's the setting you want to be on. If you want to run your fridge off the gas, it's the small flame symbol. And if you're driving around, you must have it on the engine battery symbol. To simply change them, all you do is press the button you want to change it to. This one here is your temperature gauge. Simply press that for how many bars you want. When you initially turn your fridge on, make sure you put it onto 5 bars. Make sure it gets the maximum temperature in. When you start seeing a bit of frosting in the freezer, you can take it down to 4 or maybe even 3. Whenever you're driving and you're on engine battery mode, make sure it's on maximum 5 bars. It's really important that when you do leave your campsite and you're travelling around, that you put it on the engine battery mode. It's to make sure that all your food and all your drink in here stays fresh. Okay, so we've moved on now into the bathroom area. On the back here we've got a little handy cubby hole for storing all of your essentials. And again, up the top here there's a nice cupboard as well. Moving further around this way, you've got your main wash basin. So you can fill the sink up here. There's plugs in here to fill the sink up. Now there's a shower here. There's a shower guard that can fold around and it will completely seal this area, so no water will go into the toilet area. On the floor there's a wooden stand or floor guard. When you have a shower, please remove that wooden board, put it outside into the kitchen area or the lounge area. What that does is it allows the water to drain through into the bottom of the shower. You can put it back in and then you've got a nice dry floor for the next person that comes in. Now when you do take a shower, all you simply need to do, again, make sure your water pump is on. Pull this out from your sink area and simply hook it up there and it becomes your shower head. When you've finished having your shower, make sure you take it out and refeed it back through. And that will now become the tap for your sink again. The toilet itself will swivel for comfort. On the back of the toilet there is a blue button. The blue button is the flush button. On the back of the toilet there is a small screen. When you leave us today, that small screen will be green. That indicates that the toilet is clean and ready to go. As it's being used, that screen will go red. When it's fully red, that's telling you that it's time to empty your toilet cassette. Once it's emptied, that screen will go back to green. You need to use this grey lever here to open and close the hatch of your toilet. So it moves from left to right. Once the hatch is closed, you can safely remove your cassette outside. Once you've unlocked this one, push the two buttons and the cupboard will open nicely for you. So in here you've got your main toilet cassette. What you need to do, squeeze this blue lever here and the toilet cassette will slide out nice and easily for you. Inside on your toilet there's a grey lever at the bottom of the toilet. It moves from left to right. That basically opens up the hole in your toilet. You must make sure that the hole is fully closed before you go to empty your toilet cassette. If the hole is open, when you go to remove your toilet cassette, you'll feel pressure and you won't be able to pull it out. If you do still pull it out, you can damage your toilet cassette and that could be a nightmare for the rest of your trip. Go inside, make sure it's fully closed, pull the blue handle and it will come out nice and easy. Once you get to the sanitation area, toilet block, wherever it is on campsite that they've asked you to empty the toilet cassette, spin the bar around, unscrew the blue top, pour your contents away. Take it to the wash point, give it a rinse through, screw the blue top back on, push the pipe round and lock it back in place. Once you hear it click, you know that it's in there and it's secure. Please bring back your toilet cassette clean and empty. If you don't, there is a fine of £75. Once you've emptied your toilet cassette, close the hatch back up. Make sure you lock it again with your habitation key, so keep your toilet cassette safe. Once it's all cleaned, simply come back in, open the hole on the top on the toilet, get one of your blue chemical sachets, and simply pop that down inside the toilet. Okay, so we're now in the rear of the Autoroller 747 and we're in this lovely panoramic U-shaped lounge area. All around the U-shaped lounge you've got plenty of storage. Again, squeeze the handles and they'll come up nice and easy for you. Feel free to put all your belongings and bits and pieces in there. In this cupboard here to the left is also where you'll find your fire extinguisher. So if you do need to use the fire extinguisher for any reason, that's where it is. Also in this cupboard is a nice table that you can pull out. So when it's daytime, that table can be put in here and you can all sit around here, have some food, have some drinks. It's a nice area. To the right here, you've got the television. You've also got our fire alarm and our carbon monoxide alarm. If they go off, they are extremely loud, so you will hear them, so don't worry about not hearing them in the night. They are extremely loud. Your TV remote for your telly is also situated over here. On the left hand side here is also your main control panel for your heating and your hot water. Okay, so we're now in the other seating area, or the dining area as it's called in the Autoroller 747. There's also some extra storage in here, so please feel free to use that. Again, squeezy cupboards. Your toaster is in here as well, for using in your kitchen. There's a plug socket in your kitchen for plugging your toaster in. 2 seating points here. So obviously you've got your driver's seat with a seat belt, your passenger seat with a seat belt. You've got 2 seat belts on the rear facing dinette, and there's also 2 seat belts on this side as well. So you fit 6 passengers in here comfortably. This area also makes the occasional bed. To do that, simply lift up the table, press this button on the leg. That leg will fold under. Unhook the table from the ramp at the back here. Can be a bit fiddly. Once you've done that, place it on the side here. Remove one of these cushions to lift it up. And then all you do is simply, and the bed table will hook over the silver ramps on the other side. Once that's down, in the rear cupboard there's some extra cushions. Use them to fill this area in, and you've got your next bed. Okay, so the next bedroom area, or bed area, in the Autoroller 747 is this electric lowered double bed that comes down from the ceiling. In order to make it come down, you've got a down arrow and an up arrow. Simply hold the down arrow and the bed will start to come down. Remove any cushions that are in the bed's way to bring it down to the correct height. Just carefully watching all the time that you're not going to bang anything. When it's time to go to bed, get your ladder from outside in the garage area, hook it onto the side here and climb up on here nice and easy. Please make sure you are using the ladder. Please don't try and jump onto the bed. It can put it out of line, so always use your ladder. Under here there's also some safety cargo nets. So if you're looking to put smaller or young children up here, the cargo nets will hook into these rings and it will stop them from rolling out of the bed. When it's daytime again, simply hold the up arrow and the bed will go back up to the ceiling. Feel free to leave your duvets and pillows up there, they'll be absolutely fine. Just then remember to put any cushions back that you need to, so you're set up ready for the day. This large lounge area here also makes into a large double bed. All you need to do, simply lift this cushion and these slats will roll out to here. Simply move the cushions in. If you require extra cushions, they're all inside this cupboard here. So all the windows in the Autoroller 747 all have fly blinds fitted and blackout blinds. So you've got full privacy when it's night time, and if you want to have your windows open, you sat by a nice lake somewhere, particularly in Scotland, you want to stop the bugs coming through, put your fly blind down and nothing will come through. This window here has a sensor on it. So if you've had your windows open during the day, if it's been a nice day, but then it's really chilly in the evening and you want your heating on, make sure that this window is fully sealed before putting your heating on. If you put your heating on and it doesn't work, there's a good chance that this window is not fully closed. It doesn't want the carbon monoxide to make its way back into the vehicle, so it will cut the system off. Okay, so if you've chosen the option to take the bike rack on your holiday, this is what it will look like when you receive the vehicle. To work the bike rack, simply move these arms up, pull the rack down, and you can start to load your bikes on here. All of our bike racks take a maximum of 4 bikes. Once the wheels are in place on here and strapped in using these straps, you can then pull these levers down and strap in the main frame of the bike. Once they're all secured and on here, we do recommend that you bring your bike locks just to secure them. If you're stopping off somewhere to grab some food or into a service station, the last thing you want is your bikes go missing, so make sure you put your bike locks on. When you're ready to take your bikes off, simply move your arms up, fold it back up so these clips grip this part of the frame, and fold these arms back down. This just makes the bike rack more streamlined when you're travelling around. 'Cause these are the best days. These are the best days.